What y'all think about this? I heard somebody say women are judged by their exclusivity and looks, while men are judged by their money and ability to provide, or what they can provide, which I guess would also entail their ability to. But I really want to know what people think about that, because not only do I think that it's something that needs to be spoken about, a discussion is there to be. There's a lot to unpack in there. There's a lot to break down in there. It's a whole pound. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to JD. It's a whole pound I need to get broken down to a point. You feel me? So I'm gonna make a few points, my points, subjective points. But I want to know how everybody. That's my dog eating in the background. If y'all hear what's going on. I would say personally, that's not incorrect. I can't say that it's incorrect. I would say, in terms of how we attract each other and who we approach, we looking at, as far as men, we looking at how exclusive you are as a woman. How many men have you been with? Who do you allow around you? The company that you keep, not just men but women. How easy is it to access you? The easier it is to access you, the less likely a man is to be attracted to you or value you. And it's all about judgment. So you may be approached by men that don't value you very much, but it's all about how they judging you. Okay, maybe they're not looking for a woman that's very valuable. Maybe in that instance or for that night, they looking for somebody who they feel isn't so exclusive, and somebody that isn't so, hard to access. And I think women mistake that attention for other attention. Women think that they are more valuable than what they truly are, based off of the fact that they get attention all the same. And not to say that anybody is more valuable than anyone else, but if you basing it strictly off of exclusivity and looks, which I think most men do, not trying to be biased, not trying to be disrespectful, I'm just being honest, then there is an order in terms of value. You feel me? And me personally, I don't think anyone is just flat out ugly. I don't think nobody just is flat out ugly. You feel me? So as far as looks, I really think it's about how you take care of yourself. Okay, the stuff that you put into your body, the stuff that you consume, not just physically, not just food, but the stuff that you consume in terms of mentally and emotionally and socially, that affects how your appearance is, i.e. your looks. So women, if all you consuming socially is social media or reality television, which is not really reality, it's scripted reality, so it can be sold to you and packaged to you in a form of a television show. You feel me? If that's all the shit you consuming, if all you consuming socially is gossip, if all you're consuming mentally is verbal abuse or emotionally is verbal and emotional abuse, you feel me? That's going to take its toll on you. If all you're consuming is Casamigos, it's gonna take its toll on your appearance. Let's be real. A lot of y'all already done reached the point where Casamigos done took a toll on your appearance. You feel me? So you can't be out here saying that you're that valuable of a woman when you have to keep in mind the fact that men judge you based on your appearance and your exclusivity. So when you drinking Casamigos on a nightly basis, one, we looking at you like your appearance ain't that well, because the alcohol starts to reap into your appearance. What you sold into the alcohol, it reaps into your appearance. Let's be real. And then if you drinking Casamigos on a nightly basis, you're probably in public areas. You're probably not that exclusive. You're probably easy to be found, easy to be accessed. So that's two things right there. It's not that we're judging you based off of that. Okay? It's just how men are. Now, if you're still approached, if you're still getting that attention from a man, that doesn't mean that you're still that doesn't mean that or negate what I'm saying. It just means that a man wants you for another reason other than someone he's trying to court, someone he's trying to be in a relationship with. And that's where women and men, but where people need to be self-conscious and self-aware. What does this person want out of me? And does that match the attention that they're giving me? Because I may think that this attention is warranted for this, but if you just want this, then I don't think that attention is warranted, you know? Or I don't think that attention warrants me to feel the way that I feel. You feel me? And women develop feelings a little bit quicker and a little bit heavier than men. I think early in life. I think men start to catch up, you know, and then it's because men would, hey, when we go through some shit, we be out here crushed out here. So it's like you get to that point, you know, but men don't often or as much, I think, mistake a relationship for love when it's really just, you know, an exchange, a sex exchange. When it's really just a sex exchange, but men rarely, you know, or at least less often than women, I think, mistake the relationship. On the other hand, looks play a role. Looks play a role when it comes to women. So I won't say it's just, but then at the same time, looks won't matter if you're well off enough financially and you can provide what a woman wants provided for her. So I do have to agree on the other end as well, that when it comes to what a man can do for a woman and what he has in terms of money, women will be a lot more willing to submit to that, rather than a man who can't provide the things that she would want provided and doesn't have the amount of money that she sees as adequate. You know, it's how it go. You feel me? So a lot of women now. I'm not trying to discourage nobody who's in love or who has a significant other. I got my own thing going on. You feel me? I got a girl, and while I think certain things definitely played a role in us attracting each other, appearance. When you hang out with somebody, you definitely see what they're like financially, what they're like socially, you know. So all of that stuff. So I could agree, you know, while I don't think it's, you know, the same way with everybody. I do think that for men, financial status and ability to provide does play a role in a woman's attraction to you. It plays a role, and the biggest roles. I will say that. Now, I do have an exception to this, and I don't even want to say it's an exception all the way, because I do believe this is fact. Um, but I do think there's a caveat to it. And also, on the other hand, I think men, in terms of women, their appearance and their exclusivity plays the biggest role, and I can say that for myself. Um, but why I say that that's not, there's an exception, I say, why I would say there's an exception to that, those two things for each men and women and how we view each other. I would say those may be the things that attract you and get you. Those may be the things that reel you in, but I don't think those are the things that keep you. For instance, you may be able to do this for a woman, and you may be able to spend that on a woman, but if that comes with infidelity, lying, any form of abuse, I don't think women are just stupid. And there are people that do, you feel me, tough shit out like that and stay in those situations. But I don't think women are just going to stay there through that and put up with that for the sake of being well off financially and having. I think eventually a woman, and whoever in that situation will put themselves first and realize that there's nothing that can buy their, morality and the intangibles. There's nothing that you can put past the intangibles. And I think those are the things that keep people there. So how you look at somebody, how you speak to somebody, how you care for them, how you, think about them. Those are the things that, on top of the things that got you in the door, I think the intangibles are the things that keep you in the door, for both parties, and the same for women, just because your exclusivity and your appearance got you in the door, it doesn't mean that your attitude or your cooperation or your effort or, whatever can't get you back out the door. You feel me? Because just because a woman has only been with you or she's only been with a few people, prior to you, and, she doesn't allow people to access her like that, and, she looks amazing and all that shit, just because of those things, that doesn't mean that there aren't things about that woman that you won't like. There's a lot of things that men don't like about women. You feel me? So I don't even want to get into specifics, but there's a lot of things that can arise from that. So just because she has that doesn't mean that she's a keeper. Just because he has that doesn't mean that he's a keeper, because that isn't what keeps a healthy relationship intact. There's a bunch of other things that go into that. But I do think that this quote is true. I want to know what y'all think about that shit.